The notion that opposition members of parliament never speak the same voice with their ruling party counterparts has been proven wrong. The Thursday sitting of the House in Gulu has a motion to pay tribute to President Yoweri Museveni and the Uganda People's Defence Forces unite these MPs.
I reflected, Honourable Speaker, a situation where they used to tell us that guns would be singing in different tones, alto, bass and soprano, from morning to evening.
Jointly seconded, the motion moved by Kazo County Member of Parliament Dan Kimosho was a welcome for both political factions.
Honourable Speaker, in the evening, we walked on the streets of Gulu, up to like 10 kilometers inside, for jogging and health fitness purposes. And everyone was enjoying themselves. Well, and it was tarmac. Actually, it is more exemplary than most of the towns in this country.
The successful wiping of rebel movements from the north was key among reasons for the motion support.
For those of you who have ever lived in a war-torn area will agree with me that life in a state of war is a life that you never wish to live in after war.
We were called Anyanya because this region was characterized with bloodshed. Here we are, seated comfortably, deliberating because of the fruits of His Excellency the President and other patriots of this country.
The Lord's Resistance Army, led by Joseph Kony, had ravaged northern Uganda for long. It is no more.
Some of us who suffered, like me, I was in Ngora camp. People suffered, people died. I saw people die, and I suffered with my siblings at around 10 or 11 years. So it's quite challenging, but we are grateful.
More than 20 years living in internally displaced camps, abandoning their homes completely, and some of them were staying on the streets. Some of them abducted by Kony, the young girls abducted and taken up by rebels of Kony as wives, others taken up by Kony himself as wife. Very, very important that the president, with the effort of the UPDF, tried their best to ensure that they bring peace.
Even the fallen sons of the soil who put in a lot to ensure that northern Uganda is pacified. So it was timely that during this special sitting in northern Uganda, such a motion is brought to pay tribute to the president.
Karamoja sub-region, which is also part of northern Uganda, did not miss out in the deliberations. This is because cattle rustling had become part of the area. Today, it is all a thing of the past thanks to tireless efforts by the UPDF.
I witnessed the disarmament process. I witnessed when the soldiers died. The commanders, I saw their bodies in parts of Karamoja. I am a witness to the level of sacrifice of the men in uniform, the UPDF. At some point I asked myself, what was the motivation? Up to today I cannot find the answers. That spirit of sacrifice, the revolutionary spirit, I do not know how the Commander-in-Chief inculcated that revolutionary spirit in the UPDF.
President Yoweri Museveni had been invited to address the House. He listened and welcomed the tribute.
When we are budgeting, this is very important for you fellows. How could we build such a powerful army with very little money? Because we budget according, we plan according to our small budget. That's why when we are building the army, we don't start with the barracks. The barracks don't look so smart. We start with the personnel, the training, and the weapons.
Other legislators and ministers agreed with what they described as a timely motion.
Because the president was very resilient and remained consistent in not only mobilizing the people to abandon the war, but also deploying UPDF and other forces.
History should always be told. These children of nowadays don't know what war is. They even want to see what it looks like. But I think we need to keep talking to our children so that they appreciate the peace.
And the president has been the lead person in this, contributing in the return of peace here. Now, Northern Uganda is not just peaceful, it's growing at a rate that some areas may have to run to catch them up.
All this happening at the regional parliamentary sitting currently in Gulu City, Northern Uganda. I'm Navka Farida and Henry Krut.